Today, our lecture is about a very important subject, that is suicide. Reality, suicide is not only a subject that we have discussed, but it is a real and horrible problem that widespread in the entire world. Suicide is a serious matter where people take their lives for so many reasons. Many people think to commit a suicide due to oppression, depression, or emotions, relationships, hardships with families or elsewhere. It means that when man feels he loses someone, he will commit or he can't achieve something important in his life, he immediately think to take his life and commit a suicide. Many people believe that individuals who are deeply depressed or even moderately depressed commit suicide. They show some indications of depression, such as sadness and hopelessness. Means that how we know that this man wants to commit a suicide? When he's completely sad, lost his hope in life, and he is isolated himself from others. He is always pessimistic, see everything black in his eyes. That's why he thinks of committing a suicide. It means that he lost his aim in life. That's why he decides to take his life. A reason why suicide is such a huge problem is simply because people do not know enough about the causes and effects. Suicide is a problem, but not a simple problem, dangerous problem that most people, they don't know what are the causes of such horrible problem and the effects. After one commits suicide, what is the effect upon others, his family, the friends, whatever, for one who commits a suicide and takes his life. Suicide is prohibited in all religion. That is not accepted by God. Because we are created by God, and God who is the one decide to take our lives and not by ourselves. Schools may talk about the issue in classrooms or occasionally give presentations to students, but typically it is not discussed enough. Here we stop to answer these lines or to explain these lines, that in a school they talk about suicide, but not in a wide way, in a focused way, that we have to warn the people from getting away this idea from their minds, especially young people. People would have a clearer understanding of how to handle different situations regarding suicide. It means that the people, they know how to handle many problems in life when they face it, including suicide, because life have many troubles, and we can face in our life many problems. So we have to know how to handle, how to treat these problems, how to make or to find solution from these problems. People may think of the world as a place full of happiness and joy in order to give themselves peace. But unfortunately, that is not the case for everyone. Means that the one who wants to live, he just want to believe that there is happiness in life. In this way, he will not think of committing a suicide. But the reality, not all the people think like this. Most of the people think that there is only sadness and the problems, the troubles in life. That's why they live in complete difficult situations. Many struggle with depression and anxiety, often leading to suicidal thoughts if not addressed properly. An important thing people can do to stop suicide is to help those who may face suicidal thoughts by making them feel not alone. This is, if we find that someone always talking about suicide, we have to be close to him and not give him time to think of committing a suicide. We come to the questions. Question number 1. Why do people think of committing a suicide? We find the answer of this question in the first paragraph, because this subject is of 3 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, line number 2, many people think to commit a suicide due to oppression, depression, or emotions, relationships, hardships within families, or elsewhere. Question number 2. What are the indications of depression? We find in the same first paragraph, the last 2 lines, they show some indications of depression, such as sadness and hopelessness. Question number 3. What is the role of schools about suicide? We find it in the second paragraph, line number 2. Schools may talk about the issue in the classrooms or occasionally give presentations to students, but typically it is not discussed often. Question number 4. What does the false think of people of the world? We find it in the third paragraph, first line. People may think of the world as a place full of happiness and joy in order to give themselves peace. But unfortunately, that is not the case for everyone. The last question, what is the main role of the people to prevent suicide? We find it also in the last paragraph, the last 2 lines. An important thing people can do to stop suicide is to help those who may encounter suicidal thoughts by making them feel not alone. This is a very important subject because nowadays we find many people committing suicide by hanging themselves or shooting themselves with a gun, whatever, in the entire world, not a specific world. That's why the role of the families or schools that we concentrate on this trouble, this problem, this issue. By when we see man is all alone, we have to make close to ourselves. Thank you very much.